Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Isabella Young, and I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I really appreciate your time and attention and your commitment to your own growth and evolution and to the freedom and future of humanity. Thank you so much for shining your light. And I'm recording this video under the light of the Aries full moon. And what an extraordinary time to be here, the time of the Great Awakening. In this video, I'd like to share all the evidence that that New Earth is already here. And I said before that all this virus, pandemic, scamdemic, all the drama is to distract us from the fact that New Earth is already here. And if and when we choose to embrace the love that's here, then the parasites who've been sucking off us for way too long, well, they'll really disappear. They'll just vanish, because without us, they're nothing. They have no power of their own. That's why they use ours. So the sooner we withdraw our attention and our energy and our money and our time from all the old systems of enslavement, the politics and religion and science and some of scientism and religions and education and money, and the sooner we co-create our own new systems of governance and education and commerce and travel and community, then we will be living in the world that we know is our birthright. I can taste it already. So I'd like to share some of the signs that New Earth is already here. But firstly, remember that the more tyrannical governments become, and the more egregious, immoral, and outrageous their overreach, the more obvious their deceptions and lies are to more people, and the more power and momentum truth gains. The more that evil is exposed, witnessed and experienced by more human beings, the more outraged and activated people become, and the less likely they are willing to comply and participate in their own imprisonment. The more people who do not follow orders, the less power those making rules have, and the faster their matrix of control collapses, and the closer we are to living as sovereign beings. So here's my list. Please feel free to add your own. The Schumann resonance is registering extremely high frequencies of light that are literally off the charts. The more light that is here, the more information is available for all, and the more collective consciousness expands. This time is known as the Great Quickening. Never seen levels of electromagnetic frequencies in CMEs, coronal mass injections, are hitting Earth, dispersing the matrix of control, raising the vibrational frequency, and dismantling the systems that have kept us in bondage. Burgeoning numbers of people are realizing that they have been lied to, and that they cannot trust governments, doctors, hospitals, police, scientists, celebrities, public education, and mainstream media. Mushrooming numbers of people are turning inward, embracing spirituality, bringing God into the common narrative, and sending a ripple effect of transformational energy throughout the human collective and the cosmos. More people are making connections with star people and other benevolent interdimensional beings. Burgeoning numbers of people are praying and calling upon ancestors and other benevolent beings and star family for help. Help cannot be given unless it is requested. Increasing numbers of people participating in worldwide group meditations and sacred ceremonies and chants for freedom and peace. Reports of physical experiences of high vibratory energy, buzzing, ringing, tremors, shakes, ecstasy, tears. Reports of personal experiences of sporadic bursts of energy, receipt of downloads of information and interdimensional experiences. Reports of increased intuition, heightened sense of innate knowing, and experiences of shared thoughts. Reports of manifestations of all forms of abundance, including health and wealth. Reports of dreams being more vivid, futuristic, lucid, precognitive, and didactic. Reports of physical experiences of multiple reality overlays, synchronicities, and divine timing. Reports of seeing repeating number patterns, seeing interdimensionally, and remote viewing. And premonition. Reports of out-of-body experiences, sleep paralysis and astral projection. Reports of expedited healing. Reports of nails and hair growing faster and hair returning to original colour and growing back. Every day, more people are refusing to comply with tyranny and medical apartheid. Growing numbers of people disconnecting from the matrix of fear and control and reconnecting with nature. Millions of people choosing to leave employment and no longer participate in tyranny, wage slavery, and neo-feudalism. More people simplifying their lives, spending more time outdoors, relocating, downsizing, and moving out of cities in droves. More people turning inward, listening to and following intuition, thinking independently and critically, and nurturing right relationships. Public demands for truth and transparency are arising. More people are undertaking independent research. More people are using their platforms to speak, write, create content, write music, and share information to expose official lies, quantifiable fraud, false mainstream narratives and numberfuckery, government hypocrisy, weaponized federal agencies, and police brutality, treason, and crimes against humanity. Every day, more jabsters and their families are flooding social media with their horrifying and heartbreaking stories, images, and videos of injuries and deaths. Information sharing is ballooning despite worldwide Nazi-level censorship. The rise of independent media and citizen journalists. Independent news sources are more popular than mainstream news / propaganda. Rising mistrust and loss of faith in governments, politicians, police, mainstream media, doctors, hospitals, celebrities, and public education. The rise of patriot militias and parallel law enforcement. Increasing exposure of maleficence, deception, fraud, and corruption at all levels of government, past and present. Rapidly growing insuppressible worldwide uprisings and pushback by individuals, groups, unions, businesses, and nations against treason, traitors, and totalitarianism. Because all totalitarian projects are built upon lies and deception, they hold the seeds of their own destruction. The Great Rebellion is underway. Burgeoning numbers of people from all countries and all walks of life are showing solidarity, fighting back against the forces of conquest, reclaiming freedom, taking a stand for freedom, practicing peaceful non-compliance and civil disobedience, standing in the park, standing in roundabouts, and refusing to comply with tyrannical employers, governments, police, military, and a global fascist dictatorship. More people are taking to the streets to protest government overreach and medical apartheid, which increases personal power, strengthens the bond of dissonant voices, and terrifies our enemy. Blockades, strikes, and walkouts are increasing worldwide. More people are becoming activists and using their time, energy, money, platforms, keyboards, and creativity to expose deception and corruption. Through art, music, videos, campaigns, letter drops, fact sharing, protests. Increasing public outrage, uprisings, walkouts, and growing public demonstrations wherever draconian and unlawful legislation is being voted upon, including political, electoral, and school board meetings. Whistleblowers and truth-tellers from all walks of life, doctors, nurses, teachers, police, scientists, military, politicians, are all coming forward to raise the alarm about the lies and deceptions and the evil agendas behind all that goes on at the political level. The Great Resignation has begun. Increasing numbers of people are refusing to compromise their integrity, serve evil, comply with medical tyranny and support medical apartheid. Multitudes are resigning or being legally terminated from employment. There are no facilities large enough anywhere to contain all freedom warriors who will never comply. More legal actions have been taken worldwide, including reporting of crimes against humanity, personal and class action lawsuits being filed against government agencies and individuals. More government agencies, hospitals, healthcare organisations and schools and individuals being put on notice. Increasing numbers of judges, politicians, government employees, medical professionals, school boards, school administrators, teachers, police, religious leaders, corporate CEOs and mainstream media scum being served legal documents requesting them to provide proof to validate lockdowns and restriction orders, being put on notice for violations of the Nuremberg Code and human rights, and being held to account for failing to uphold oaths they have sworn. For medical rape, for unfair dismissal, for extortion, treason, and for crimes against humanity. Growing numbers of arrests of corrupt government officials worldwide, which are not being reported by the mainstream media. Increasing numbers of people withdrawing support from major companies, banks, and online platforms. Amazon, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And there's the creation of new censorship-free, discrimination-free platforms, social media, apps. And there's the rise of the bartering economy, the rise of cryptocurrency, alternative communication systems are being implemented, the rise of alternative banking and commerce, alternatives to health insurance, resurgence of efforts to maintain and preserve indigenous cultures, customs, traditions, and languages, more people losing faith in Rockefeller medicine and leaving allopathic medicine for alternative, natural and holistic healthcare options that produce results and help people heal. More people taking responsibility for creating and maintaining health and reducing dependence upon doctors and pharmaceuticals. Doctors and other healthcare professionals leaving mainstream medicine and forming pods of healthcare advocates, establishing healing centres and offering in-home care. More parents and child caregivers taking actions to protect children who are the main targets. Surge in home births, more babies are being born at home where birthing belongs. More children are being withdrawn from public education and homeschooled and privately tutored. More elders being cared for at home rather than warehoused, poisoned and murdered in care homes. More people choosing not to support Costco, Walmart, Amazon and other pandemic profiteers and choosing to support local businesses and farmers instead. More people choosing to become more self-sufficient, grow more food, live off-grid in tiny homes and in intentional communities. The rise of new intentional communities, parallel societies, and communities that celebrate faith, family, and freedom, and the expansion of existing freedom-based, love-based communities. Holistic, nature-based healing communities and healing centres are taking form. Non-discriminatory businesses and services, such as job finding services, are mushrooming. More people are stepping forward to teach natural law, natural medicine, and occult wisdom, and how to free oneself from the matrix, and to expose the truth about the enslavement of humanity in a satanic blood cult. Growing numbers of countries removing all COVID restrictions, vaccine mandates, green passport requirements, and refusing to implement medical apartheid. So far, there's Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Brazil, Croatia. More countries banning COVID vaccines. Growing numbers of sanctuary states in the US removing and refusing to implement illegal and unconscionable COVID mandates and Nazi passports. Texas, Montana, Arkansas, Florida, and South Carolina. Growing numbers of hospitals, businesses, schools, colleges, universities, churches, and organisations rescinding government mandates and refusing to enforce medical apartheid. Increasing numbers of cases against COVID impositions, including mask and vaccine mandates, being won in courts worldwide. Public exposure of the UFO reality, and an explosion of sightings and contact with interdimensional peers. Every day, more people are maintaining a high vibrational frequency as best they can and focusing on visioning, embodying, and co-creating new Earth, which is accelerating the collapse of the old paradigm and ensuring that the rise of new Earth is well underway. What's your vision for new Earth? How are you co-creating new Earth? What collective, magnificent, magical, mathematical dream are we dreaming for humankind? Thank you for listening, and please leave your comments below. Let's co-create a beautiful, harmonious, equitable, abundant, lush world for us all. Sending all my love and light. Aloha.